Hey guys, today we are talking about subtracting integers, so get excited. This is your title, and let's look at some examples. When you subtract integers, you can follow the same rules as addition if you just put an addition sign in between them. So let's think of these as two separate numbers, -3 and -5. If we put a plus sign in between them, now we can think of them as becoming more negative. So, real life, you're in debt $3 and then I take $5 away from you. Now you're in debt $8. It's like you're having more negatives just like addition. Okay? If we look at C and we're subtracting a negative, remember that that is a not. Okay? It's not a -10 anymore. It makes a happy looking face. We can make it look like a really happy looking face like that. See, he's got his nose, his two eyes, and his smile. So now this is a +10 because it's not a -10. Bring down everything. And now you have different signs, so you subtract and you get 6, and you take the sign of the 10, so you get a +6. You can write it like this as well. Okay, so let's go over that one more time. If it's something like this, where it's just -1 minus 2, you can put a plus sign in between them, and then you have same signs, and you add them together. If you see two negatives next to each other, you know that's a not, so it's like you're adding 9 to the -10. The -10 is the bigger absolute value, so 10 minus 9 is 1. And you bring down his sign, so -1. All right, your turn to try. Grab your red pen, pause the video, try these in pencil, and then you're going to check them in red pen in just a second. All right, so here's what I would do. First, you know that you're adding a negative. You're still adding a negative. This one, you would rewrite it. This one, you're adding a negative. This one, you rewrite it. Same with this one. This one, you are adding a -1. And this one, you rewrite it. Okay, so that makes your life easier to begin with. And now let's check the actual answers. Okay, so because you're adding the negative, different signs subtract, and you get 30 negatives because 45 is the greater absolute value. Same sign, keep and add. In this one, you have a +9, so different signs subtract. This one, you have different signs, so subtract, take the sign of the greater. Down here, you add, and you have different signs. So hopefully you caught that mistake because they're different signs. So it's -14 plus 7, which is -7. Good thing we checked our work. Down here, 17 plus 3 is 20. -2 plus a -1 is -3. Same sign, keep them and add them. Here we have different signs, so we subtract and we take the sign of the greater absolute value. Okay, real world application of this. The temperature in Denver drops from 24 degrees Fahrenheit, which would be about here, to -16 degrees Fahrenheit, which would be about here. What is the change in temperature? So we don't want to know 24 minus 16. We want to know 24 minus -16. We want the difference, the change between these two numbers. So it's going to drop 24 to get to 0, and then 16 more to get to 16 below 0. So that's why we're subtracting. That makes 24 plus 16, which gives us 40 degrees, and that is our answer. Okay, so now we've got some multi-step problems. I want you to take your time with these, go through and first change what you need to change, If it's a not, change it to a positive. If it doesn't have a plus sign in between them, change them. Okay? Just do that step first and then come back to me and I will show you what I did. Okay, so here we go. This is what you should have done first. In this one, you should have done negative 15 plus negative 16 plus negative 5. So you know that they're all negatives. Keep the sign and add them. 15 and 5 make 20, and plus 16 makes 36. Remember, you can add in any order. That's the additive property, and it is called the commutative property, where you can rearrange their order. Over here, we have two not-nots. So you can either add the positives together and then work with the negative, or you can start right here. I'm going to start right here. Negative 1 plus 9 is a positive 8 because they have different signs, so I subtract, add 14, and I get 22. You should be checking your work with a red pen. Okay, on this one, you would add the 10, so 7 plus 10, and then add the negative 16. So 17 plus negative 16 gives us a positive 1. Over here, 4 plus negative 4 plus negative 13. These two cancel each other out because they're inverses, they're opposites. So because they cancel each other out, that's 0. Different signs, subtract. Take the sign of the bigger. Well, when we subtract, it's just 0, and 0 doesn't have a sign. So plus negative 13 gives us negative 13. And lastly, negative 15 plus a negative 6, and then a not, so plus 15. This one and this one are inverses, so they cancel each other out. And then all we're left with is negative 6. Okay, so now how does this apply to what we already know with fractions? Negative 2.5 is on the number line here. Okay, negative 2.5 is actually smaller than negative 2. They want us to plot a dot and label the letter of each expression below to show its correct location on the number line. I want you to do this and have it ready for class tomorrow. And that's all I have for you today, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.